Good morning. It is Sunday, the day after we finished, and last night was such a whirlwind. I don't even know what we said, so there's going to maybe be some repetition here. We think we ended up doing like 37-ish with all the extra stuff yesterday. And then I'm going to let Sprouts talk a little bit more about how we got here. I know we mentioned it a little bit, but it was freaking insane. And then it is almost, what is it, after 10 o'clock now. We tried to get a late checkout here because the next motel that she already had booked won't let us in until later. They won't give us a late checkout here. The laundry doesn't work. I only booked this motel because of the laundry.
We have nice wool other layers.
When I went to get the coffee this morning, the wind just cuts right through this.
It's not that is great. Should have worn puffy.
So why don't you talk a little bit more? I wish we could have filmed what happened. So the highway was closed.
So we get a shuttle from our
how long did we wait? Hour and a half. We had to sit and wait, and then the shuttle showed up, and it's like a long way on a gravel road. Then it's like a 2-lane highway, and it was closed down. We think it was a fatal accident. We sat there for a while. Apple Maps said it was a 5-hour. It was going to take us 5 hours. We're going to get here to 2 a.m. And then Tom, our driver, we were in a Toyota Tacoma, and he was like, "Let's go off-roading."
Yeah, and that was where things got very interesting. Well, we were the whole thing took so long to get from the terminus to anything close to civilization, because we were just stopped in non-moving traffic, and then so we go to this dirt road, and I couldn't watch. It was
so there was
terrifying.
Lined up traffic, and we were on the shoulder trying to ease by everybody and get up to the dirt road. And there was at one point,
and Tom was like, "I don't know, I've never done this stretch at night." I'm like, "You can do it, and I'm like, and then he's like, "It's gonna get a little spicy." And then we go through this terrifying section where it's
we did some rock crawling.
We were I don't know that the truck was upright.
We were pitching and rolling.
It was real real rough. We're the only ones doing it this direction. And I'm like, "Okay, is the spicy section over?" He's like, "We're just getting started." I was like,
she was laying down in the back seat,
literally could not watch at all. I was like, oh my god. I'm like, "Tom, you can do this."
And then a kid.
And he did. Oh god. And then coming the other direction.
Yeah. I don't know how this kid made it through wherever he came through in this car.
In a Toyota Camry from 1996, and
it was destroyed.
He opens the door. He's like, "Hi! Oh my god! Is it bad? Am I through the worst of it?" He's just freaking out. We're like, "Are you okay?"
His windshield was shattered. From, I guess, probably the crashing down on rocks and the contortions of his car.
He should not have been driving out there.
I don't know if it may have just been because he was in a beater, but the whole side of the car looked like it had just been rock scraped.
It was it was terrifying. And then a couple other trucks came after him, which was also a little bit sketch, but one of them was going to be okay.
The one lady was by herself, and she had big low running. It was a fancy pickup truck, not an off-road pickup truck. Had low running boards. She was going to lose those running boards for sure. Then there were a couple big lifted trucks. They would have had no problem. But we didn't get to town until 10:30. But the Mexican restaurant,
which is a lot earlier than 2 a.m.
True.
We had just sat there and turned the car off. There were so many cars that were just parked there, engines off, people just sitting there waiting for hours, because we would have had to go all the way around the Grand Canyon.
Well, you were in the back seat. You may not have noticed. I didn't say anything. As we were going down the so I peed in the road next to the car when we were parked. But as we went through, there were pee spots by at least a dozen of the cars. Everybody was just getting out and peeing on the road by the doors. Well, then this guy steps out in front of us on the shoulder. And he's a big dude, looks
we're trying to get around to get to our dirt road.
He's got a cowboy hat, and he just stands out there I said, "Oh god, this guy's going to be a problem. He's not going to let us around." Come to find out, his wife was peeing between the doors of the truck, so he was blocking us. This is how long people have been sitting there already.
Yeah.
But we got here, we got our Mexican food.
Well, we went to Mexican food. We got a jumbo margarita that we shared, and we ate delicious Mexican food, and then we got to walk at midnight
Oh, we got to the hotel. Nobody worked here.
Nobody was here. We had to like use a kiosk robot.
There was a girl like on a TV screen talking to us, and we're like, "Where's laundry?" And she clearly wasn't on site.
No.
So she didn't know where the laundry was. The laundry here doesn't work. I only booked this motel because it has laundry. The next motel that we're going to later doesn't have laundry. So we have to go to a laundromat. I think it's a mile away.
Good thing we have time between our checkout and check-in. We are gonna chill at the laundromat.
We need to get food too.
Yeah, food
So-
will probably. Oh, but we have fruit this morning.
Mhm.
Some watermelon. Show them the watermelon. It's right there.
So
This is such good watermelon.
I walked to get coffee. We had Starbucks, but I'm onto the motel. There were there's K-Cups.
We're
Five
onto the motel.
5 out of 6 were decaf. There was one not decaf. So I'm onto this. I couldn't just go to the gas station and get our drinks this morning because they don't have chai with almond milk. So I had to walk to Starbucks.
I was like, either lukewarm tap water or the bougiest drink you could possibly find, please.
So we found the drinks, and then I got this, and then we had like some berries, and there's not much left. There was like strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. Apparently there was
Fresh
raspberries.
food is just so good.
But she ate all the
Oh.
raspberries before I could even get into it.
Yeah, the raspberries were.
We need to get
Top-notch.
real food today too, like get a restaurant or.
We have time to eat.
Oh, so we didn't realize like Glen Canyon National Park, like Page,
Right here.
Arizona, is like the
spot.
spot for it. So we're gonna go look, and it was raining. When I got rained on, my hat blew off. I was walking back to the motel. I had coffees in each hand. I had 2 things of fruit, and my hat started blowing off. I ran under, like I tilted my head to keep the wind pushing the hat on. I ran under a bank like drive-through, and set the coffees on the teller. Like those pneumatic tube things, and had to put my hood up to keep the hat on. And then, so when the rain stops, or I don't know, it's like kind of ominous out there. It's not really raining right now.
It's really like front-y, like a front is coming in, and like that's what our
Fronty.
like fronty.
Okay.
I don't know that's a new word. But Tom was saying that like all the people from today were like, because he like shuttles people around,
Mhm.
are canceling all their plans because like there's all these slot canyons like Buckskin Canyon and like
Yeah.
the Wave and stuff, and you can't really be in there if there's a storm because you will die. So I'm glad that we got off trail like yesterday instead of like
Yeah.
dealing with like some potential like weird front that is looking pretty ominous out there.
On a different note, shout out to Sprinkles and Tripod. So as I'm walking, congratulations on your through hike.
Yay!
So as I'm walking to get coffee, Sprinkles texts, and she's like, "Where are you at? My friends are going to be cooking, and we're camping tonight. They'll cook for you too. We're trying to catch you. We're only 16 miles from the terminus." I'm like, "I'm in Page."
We're done.
She said, "How the heck did that happen?" I said, "I met Sprout, and we finished quick." So should we tell them about Tom's story?
Oh my god, no.
Maybe without the names.
Oh my god, sure.
Okay, tell it in like an abbreviated
Okay.
fashion if you can.
Okay. So like Tom picks us up.
Tom
and
is shuttle driver.
Tom, our shuttle driver, picks us up, and we're like, "Oh my god, thank you so much. We can't believe you're here a little earlier than we thought."
Well, he drove 2 hours like in no notice. We had no.
Yeah.
We already done with the trail when we got a hold of this guy. So
And
it was
he's
amazing
like-
that he came out.
He goes, I can't believe I'm here.
Yeah.
Is how he starts talking. I'm like, uh-oh, like same, like glad you are too. And then he's like, I run an Airbnb in Page, and like something about his guests like wanting to check out late or early or something, and then like
Yeah.
his housekeeper.
When to arrive early, yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to arrive early because they're driving across country from New York, blah blah. So anyway, he like is like trying to time it with the housekeeper, and he's like, I'll do the best I can to like accommodate your early check-in or whatever, but like gotta flip it quickly. And he like always puts ice cream in the freezer for his guests. It's just a very sweet Tom thing. And like he goes to put the ice cream in the freezer expecting the housekeeper to be like gone at this point, and like
It's 5 p.m. and the new people, she was supposed to clean early and then text the guest and tell him it's ready. So he gets there at 5 p.m. There's no guests.
and
The garage door's open.
her stuff is still there. So he's like, okay. He walks in and there's like spilled sticky stuff everywhere, and the housekeeper is like passed out-ish on the couch.
Wasted. And the spilled stuff is
like
fireball.
And he's like, oh my god. So his housekeeper is just like wasted drunk. He has to like call the cops.
He called the paramedics to come
get her. And then they were like, you need to call the paramedics. They come get her. Like, it's a whole thing. They have to like carry her away to like get like medical help, and he's like trying to like quick change over his entire thing. Meanwhile, like 3 different shuttle people are calling him and trying to like rearrange their trips because of all the weather that's coming in. So he's like answering calls, texting, cleaning real quick before his guests come. Poor guy, and like worried about, like, he's like, I'm not sure I can really continue doing business with my housekeeper. I'm like, definitely not, Tom. We will find you a new house cleaner. Like, no more. And then he like
this was the second time he had a similar occasion, like incident.
Yeah, this was not the first time. And anyway, he answered our call miraculously.
He said, I don't know why
I don't know why I answered an unknown number. He thought maybe we're like part of one of his like groups that was trying to reschedule for the next day. So he answered and then said yes. And then it's like the whole drive is at night, and then we're like stuck in this like unknown fatal accident that could last forever and ever. And he's like, oh my god, I'm sure he regretted saying yes to us.
He was so gracious and nice the whole time.
He was the nicest human being ever.
Yeah.
He was really nice. Yeah. He even gave us like
I didn't even see what they were.
Stuff from a cooler, like coconut water, and he had like watermelon, and then he gave us these like
what were those?
Goos. They were like peanut butter goos. They're like homemade gels for like trail runners.
Where are they?
Made in Page. They're right there.
Oh, you took them both?
Well, like they're just in the food bag. They're not. You can have.
You took mine.
I was gonna like eat it in the car when we were like starving, and I'm like, this chip bag is getting pretty uninspiring.
So he had the cooler because he had been hiking at some point, or no, he was shuttling hikers earlier in the day. There was a half of a watermelon in the cooler, and she wanted to like take the half of the watermelon in the truck, and like
because we didn't have any way to like cut it or anything like that. I was like, no, I'll just like
you could have taken your spork and just like eaten it out of a cereal bowl. Like
should have.
It would have been messy as heck, especially with all the bumps.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. Yeah.
Oh, did you lose anything on? So when we got to the Mexican restaurant,
I don't think so. Oh,
her stuff was kind of like pack exploded in the back of
the pickup truck.
In the back of the truck. So
we were wondering if anything like fell out, like.
Yeah.
In the like in our when we say off-roading, like it was like
it was some rock crawling in the 2 spots.
Yeah, like rock climbing.
Rock crawling.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Like,
I was like, it was like rock climbing. I don't know. I was literally there. I couldn't watch. I was like, is it over yet? Can I look? They're like, no, we're just starting. That's not anything. I'm like, oh my god. It's like when you're watching a scary movie or a gory movie and you like can't watch it and you're like, tell me what I can see, and then you can like it was like hours. I couldn't see. Oh no, wait, not hours, but like it felt like a long time. It was a long time of spicy.
It was, but we're here. I booked a flight. It was like twice as much as I thought it was going to be. But I have to fly. I got on the same flight as she did, but there's only like 2 options. The flight leaves Page twice a day on some days, 1 day on other days. So we leave here at 9:15 in the morning and we fly to Phoenix. And then from Phoenix I got to go to Dallas, and Dallas to St. Louis. So I have 3 flights tomorrow. It was pricey, but I mean, what else are you going to do? I asked Tom like, well, how much is a shuttle to Flag in case, because the plan I never shared with you all that I was thinking was to take the Amtrak across the country back home. But it was going to be a 31-hour train ride, and I thought that would be kind of...
And like twice as expensive as your expensive flight.
No, it was only $210. No, that was for the sleeper car.
Oh.
Coach was $220.
But Coach for 31 hours is a little. Like,
the shuttle from here to Flagstaff would have been $300, or I could have hitched. But then the train leaves there at like 3:59 a.m. I would have had to have another motel there, and then it was going to take like 3 days to get home to do all that, and I'm done with that. So. That's the plan for now. We've rambled on for quite a while. I will try to. We're definitely going to see this canyon later, and then. Anything else right now? All right, we'll see.
We got no sleep for 2 nights in a row.
Last night was okay.
Well, we had beds. That was very nice to have a pillow and a shower. But like it was just a really late night. Like we were really.
Well, the night before I slept 4 hours because we talked all night through the tents.
Same with last night.
Last night, it was like 2 or something, wasn't it?
3:30.
We were still awake at 3:30. I thought it was 2:30.
We went to bed at 3:30.
Okay. So she's planning. This could be another story for later because maybe I'll vlog part of that if that all comes to fruition. She's going to attempt this FKT in the Smokies in a couple weeks. So now that this is over, for hours we were doing research and plotting mileages and plans for her FKT attempt in the Smokies.
We're like, what's next? We had to, it was like kind of like habit, you know, like after every day.
Yeah.
Like I think you just like look at far out and you look at mileage and water and elevation gain. So I felt like a nice like habitual wind down ritual. Yeah. like we're still not quite. I was like charging my headlamp. Like we're not quite ready to like acknowledge that we're done hiking. We're still like,
when I was walking to the Starbucks this morning, I was like, oh, it feels good to be walking. Like,
because that's what we do.
Yeah, not anymore. Best. All right, well, I've drank a whole cup of coffee. This is the longest 1 minute take I've ever done. So we'll see you guys later. Bye. All right, check out this view. This is, oh guys, there's a golf course right here. You guys are like golfing. Should we go golfing?
Yeah,
I haven't golfed in years. That would be comedy.
I like actually.
Wow, this is awesome. Laundry is done. All the chores are done. Well, no, I got a bag for my my check. What do you call it? Check luggage. I got it free from the motel, and we've got to figure out how to do. We need some pliers to do something with her poles, and then we're done with chores. So now we're at the brewery, and we're both trying to do work. How can they find your blog?
Sprout Writes. www.sproutwrites, like I'm a writer.com.
There you go. So she's working on her blog. I'm trying to upload videos, but the Wi-Fi here is not good. I gotta.
All right. He thinks he's gonna win, but I'm coming back. 15-20, close game.
All right, so we left the brewery, and we played shuffleboard. It was a very close game, but in the end,
Who do you think won? Who do you think won?
Sprout won. I was winning 20-10, and it was miraculous. I all of a sudden stopped scoring until she got 21. So
I realized that defense didn't make me happy.
So now we're going back and figuring out what's next. We still got to find a pair of pliers. Okay, so it's been a day. It's getting late, and it's about time for us to go eat. It's dark outside already. So all the chores are done. Everything is done. We fly out tomorrow. So just to kind of wrap this whole AZT thing up, because I am flying home now because of how things worked out. And man, my head looks like a cue ball because my face is, this is too much weird just with this lighting. So we started to have
Producers.
Get
on that.
Hair and makeup. So we started to have this conversation a little bit ago, and I'm like, stop. This is the perfect conversation for a video. Yeah. So we're going to try to keep this shorter because we talked for like 16 minutes earlier. I know you all like hearing her bubbly personality here, but we were sitting here, and I don't remember how it started, but she said something like, oh, but you don't even push yourself. And she said, I don't hike enough.
Well, I was like, what?
I don't know how it started, but you started telling me that you said, well, it's because you don't even push yourself.
Why did I start though?
I don't know.
I think I was like, it's like hard, like through hiking is hard or something, and you make it seem like easy, like you're
I don't know how
you're having a good time, and you're like, well, you have a hardship in that you have sometimes like sore feet, and I'm like, that's one.
Yeah, I don't know
one
how.
little ailment.
I don't know how it started, but she started telling me you just don't do enough miles, and I said,
like,
other than you,
I didn't say not enough miles. I said you're not pushing yourself hard enough.
Well, it's the same thing, but okay.
Well, you could like carry like twice the amount of weight and do that amount of miles.
Put a weighted vest on for that while through hiking.
Just be a maximalist and carry all luxury items.
I have 2 pillows. I have a pillow and a half.
Nah, it's not enough luxury.
And an air pump. So anyway, I said, other than her, I have not met anyone else on the trail that has done the miles I've done. And like once I pass people, I usually don't ever see them again. So I'm like, what do you mean I don't do enough? And she's like, yeah, you just don't push yourself enough. And I'm like, well, it's 30 miles a day or 25 to 30 almost every day. Why? So tell me why I'm not pushing myself enough or what I should do different.
Well, because like you are like, oh, you're just very reasonable. You're like, it's getting dark. I'm going to look for a tent spot instead of like thinking like, am I done hiking for the day? And so like, imagine if you just like hiked and hiked and hiked and hiked and hiked until like you absolutely could not hike anymore. And then you were like, gotta find a tent spot. Then you would end up like,
well, that's what you did. That's what you did the night before we met. And you were down in that cold. So I was editing the video today, just a little bit ago. Maybe that's what started it.
That is because you were like, yeah.
I was editing the video and I was walking through this wash area talking about all the reasons why this would be not a good place to camp and how I got to get further so I could get a good place to camp.
It's the worst place to camp.
And that's where she camped.
And this reason and this reason. I was like, that's exactly where I camped. And it was the worst place to camp.
Because she hiked until it was like dark. And then she's like, oh my gosh, I got to just put up somewhere. Or maybe after dark.
Yeah, it was
well,
like 7:30, so it was like getting dark. It was like pretty dark. And like but it had been like a 40-mile day through the canyon, so I was like pretty tired and like, but then
the canyon's only 20. She started on the other side of the canyon, did the whole rim to rim, and did another 13 miles in one day. That's how she got 40.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And
like even I think that's insane.
It was kind of, well, that's why I ended up camping in the worst spot. And then like, I met him in the morning all like traumatized from like a really cold night and like lumpy wet, like snow melt, terrible wash, horrible.
Yeah, your tent was soaked.
But I was pushing myself.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and I was saying, you know, maybe you should push yourself a little harder.
But anyway, I feel like I've done plenty of miles. And no, I mean, I don't get...
No, I think we were talking about like the through hiking, like, you know... What were we talking about?
I know this conversation I thought was going to be way better. What? But then we forgot what it was about.
You were saying like something about like when you're newer at through hiking maybe. And that now it's just kind of like you kind of just have like a routine and then I think because like your routine is working, it's just like
that's just what I do.
That's just what you do. But like so maybe you've like outgrown that routine and it might behoove you to like push into new territory and think about like how can I make this more of a sufferfest.
But why does it need to be a sufferfest?
So that you can feel very emotional when you get to the end.
I don't know. I think we're in different pages. So I think for me...
Why does it need to be a sufferfest? Because suffering and pain helps you like learn about parts of yourself that you wouldn't otherwise.
Every day?
And through hiking is a really great place to do that most days in the through hiking environment, I think.
If that's your why, if you're here to suffer, I understand, I guess. But like,
I'm here to learn more about who I am, and you can
learn your limits.
You can kind of do that when you push yourself outside of your comfort zone.
So my feet hurt really bad.
So like your 30-mile days are in your comfort zone, bro. Don't call me bro.
She said, she told me, well, when you do 30s, you just are totally relaxed and it doesn't seem like it's a big deal. And my feet do really hurt. And I think my limit is probably low 30s. Like when we're talking day after day after day, low 30s is probably like my limit. My feet hurt really bad. When we were up to almost 37-ish yesterday, those last few miles are really rough. Like
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I probably am never going to do a through hike. That's fake wood, but it's going to count. I'll probably never do a through hike where I'm like routinely doing significantly more than 30 regular 30s. I mean, a lot of trails.
Never say never, but PCT is easier to do like bigger mile days than like this trail has a lot more rocks, and so it is harder on your feet. So you just like can't say, you have to. That's why it's like don't confine yourself to a mileage like amount
minimum or maximum.
Either right. Like some days I did like 18 because I was just like I'm done.
How many days did you do 18?
One.
You're right.
And then like. And then like one day I stopped at like 4:30 p.m. because I was like wayfinding through snow all morning, so I was just like mentally exhausted. So like, you know, if I had been like gotta go until 6:30, you know, like, but other days maybe I have the bandwidth, the capacity to like go further because of like what the trail provides that day, or what like the characteristic of the AZT is like harder and the rockier terrain than like maybe some sections of other trails.
So just to close this conversation out, I'm gonna say
he needs to push himself.
So I'm gonna consider the source of this advice. She has set an FKT for a rim to rim to rim to rim to rim, right? Five R's, and she's about to try to set another FKT in a couple weeks. Maybe I'll vlog that. Like, I can't vlog you. I can vlog the start and the beginning, just the beginning and the end. What she's going to do is unsupported. And I'm probably going to go, well, she said I committed, I guess.
Well, and we could, like, talk on the phone while I'm out there, and then you could give info.
That was one of the things we were doing last night when we were researching, and up until, like, 3 or 3:30 a.m., we were researching the rules for FKT. So she can talk on the phone and have, what is it? How is it? Phone and... virtual, so she can like talk on the phone. I can
text or like talk on the phone.
But like when she goes through Newfound Gap, because it's in the Smokies and that's the only road, like you can't be there, you can't give her supplies or any support.
I'm doing it. Yeah, you could if you do it supported, but I'm doing it unsupported.
Right. And so hers is going to be like and the whole Smokies from south to north, turn around and go back south. It's like 146 miles, and it's only in a few weeks, and I'm planning to go down there. Not to support her because that's unsupported,
not allowed.
but to be there at the start and finish, and more importantly, like a safety thing, if she needs extraction, if something doesn't go well or it's cold or whatever.
The Smokies have like crazy unpredictable weather.
Right. So if there needs to be an extraction, I could be close to one of the extraction points to be there. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video about that. But we've talked enough. Huh?
Maybe.
Maybe I just won't even come. Who knows? I'm kidding. I committed. We knew each other for 2 days, and she asked me if I'd commit to go.
I'm like, please.
She said everyone else she knows told her no.
I can't get anyone to be like, yeah, I just want to like hang out on the AT.
I always want to hang out on the AT.
Great.
So anyway, it also kind of helps me to finish this knowing that, oh, well, I have something planned. I'll be on the AT in a couple weeks. So, I don't know. That's kind of a good thing. This is going to be the last video of the AZT series. So, thank you all so much for joining. I know this would have been so much more entertaining for you all if we would have met earlier. And maybe I would have pushed myself because... Maybe so, because you would have made me. All right. Thank you all again for watching. Have a good night, and I won't see you tomorrow.
No, bye.
Bye.